Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan again with MJS Coaching Football. My background is my 38th year coaching football, and I've either been a defensive, offensive, or special teams coordinator, as well as a head coach at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, I'm going to talk to you about a different one-back front that we'll utilize against 10 personnel and formations. That's what we call shade. And to be honest, it's just the rule is opposite for the rover what he normally does when we call split versus 10. So let me just briefly cover the couple of basics. Again, I'm going to encourage you to submit a one back 10, 11, 12 front playlist. And once the front is set, it stays. That's that's constant from front to front in versus our one back 10 personnel. Okay, we middle of the field, we go to quarterback arm. Otherwise, it doesn't say it, but balls on the hash versus Detroit. It goes to the big field. And so in the middle of the field, Detroit, which is 2x2, different than, in the sense, opposite from split. In shade, the rover goes to the halfback. And if it's pistol, the rover goes to the lizard rip. Okay, and what that enables us to do, and then of course you kick the front opposite the rover. All the rover says is rover right or rover left. Boom, they kick, and the linebackers say bump left in this case. Rover stays in his 2-point stance, and the dime continues to go to the lizard rip because the rover is a part of the front. Well, what the shade front allows us to do is to give us a 3 technique on the side of the halfback. So we give them a 5 and a 1 shade in the split front. In the shade front, we give them a 5 and a 3. And also, opposite the halfback in this case, or opposite the rover, the nose is head up on the guard, but the nose is an A-gap defender. So he's going to step laterally into A-gap and read the edge of the center. Is it to him or away from him? Okay, which makes the inside linebacker, okay, on the side opposite the rover is the 31, and the inside linebacker on the side of the rover is a 71. And if the back's there, he's static as well. Okay? But the purpose of the shade front is to give us, again, a 3 technique to the side of the halfback, which now is much harder for the offense to get up to the linebacker. And the rover and the backer are quarterback defenders, okay? Without doing any games or anything else, they're quarterback defenders, okay? Again, similar to the other presentations, see my one back playlist. Safety, in this case, the whip is taught. You don't see a detached outside backer, you move up to 1x8, boom, done. Okay, and they're playing gray 4, so they're still both reading and reacting to 2. They are pass defenders first, run second. So an RPO scheme, we can play our base match quarters. And if we force them to throw a bubble, we'll rally up because that's exactly what we want. Okay, but they're playing the pass, they're playing the run. Again, a 4-man front, 6-man box is great versus the run in a 10 personnel set, right? 6 gaps, 6 defenders. All right. And so if the ball is on the hash, so if the ball were on the left hash versus Detroit, rover goes to big field. Kick the front into the boundary, and everybody else is the same. Okay? So again, middle of the field, rover to the back. Middle of the field, pistol, rover to the lizard rip. Ball on the hash, rover to big field. And again, once the front is set, it stays. So same front versus Toledo. Okay, all the same principles. Now the rover goes to the 3 wide receivers and you kick the front away. Again, different look. 2 fronts, same concept, but it's 2 totally different looks when it comes to blocking on the offensive line. Okay, so consequently, everything remains the same in the sense that rover goes one way, the dime goes to the lizard rip, automatic China check pit China. And again, all that tells China means it's opposite of what he normally does, which is he only gets 5 yards width from the tackle, which puts him inside. China, he's purposely outside shade of number two. Again, it's just when you look at a map, China's on the opposite side of the world. So when we're asking him to do the opposite, that's all it is. That's all it means. Okay. Still orbit support. And since we're in pit, and that's a lot of ground to cover, the free moves up to 1x8 Ike on number three. Again, you have to see my 3x1 playlist to get more on Check Pittsburgh. Ball on the hash, rover to the big field. Everybody else is the same. Okay? So middle of field, rover to three receivers, ball in the hash, rover to big field. Boom, done. And if the front is set, the front stays. Again, boom, done. Okay? So if you have any questions at all, this is the shade front. Again, allows us to give the three technique on a different side than normal. Okay? And that's what we want to do. Give the offense two different looks from a six-man box, an even four-man front. Okay. And I think that's plenty for them to handle and plenty for us to handle. Okay. As always, please, any questions, reach out to me at Coach MJS at Sullivan, Coach MJ Sullivan, excuse me, at gmail.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can.